Yo, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well and welcome to day 98 of reading 101 essays that'll change the way you think. As always, shout out to Brianna West for the text, and today's title is The Power of Negative Thinking. If you want to be emotionally free, there's only one thing you need to understand. Whatever problem you think you have right now is not the actual problem. The problem is that you do not know how to think about your problem correctly. You're sick of platitudes, but this isn't really something you can afford to ignore. This isn't just advice that may perhaps be applicable to some people, sometimes in certain situations. It is not just a kind of notion that can soothe you on a hard day. It's not just something you can lean on when you've exhausted all other options. The point of experiencing anything is learning how to think about it differently. When you do not do the work of learning to think differently, you become stuck. The more we experience, the more capable we are of seeing the world with varied lenses, thinking with more dimension, considering possibilities that were previously unconceivable. Real education is not learning what to think about, but how to think in general. Learning how to better ignore negative thoughts is not learning how to think, it's learning how to dissociate. Our negative thoughts inform us as much as positive ones do. Rather than becoming afraid, we can learn to see them as directives, or at the very least, if we can be discerning about what we ascribe meaning to, we can decide what matters to us and to what degree. Therein is the power of negative thinking. As the Stoics practiced negative visualization, imagining the worst possible outcomes and then preparing for them. Learning how to think is the simple art of recognizing that you choose how to apply meaning and emotion to your life. And if you don't consciously decide what matters and what doesn't, you'll spend the rest of your life in feeling patterns, responding to what you were conditioned by when you were young. The solution is not a hyper-focus on positivity, as mainstream pop psych would have you believe, but learning how to turn the shadow aspects of your mind into forces that ignite change and inspire growth. Emotional freedom and inner peace come from knowing what to do when those negative thoughts and feelings arise, because they will. As Jonah Lehrer explains, we regulate our emotions by thinking about them. Our prefrontal cortexes allow us to think about our own minds. Our brains think about themselves. Psychologists call it metacognition. We know when we are angry because each feeling state must come with a degree of self-awareness, so we can figure out why we're feeling what we're feeling. Without that awareness, we wouldn't know we are afraid of the lion that's charging at us in the wild, so we wouldn't run to escape it. If we didn't run away, what would be the point of the feeling in the first place? But more importantly, if feeling doesn't make sense, if the amygdala is responding to a lost frame, then it can be ignored. The prefrontal cortex can deliberately choose to ignore the emotional brain, that is, if it determines there's no merit in ascribing meaning. What this means is that whatever problem you think you have in your life is not the problem, it's the fact that you see it as a problem, rather than a signal you refuse to respond to, or a product of over-ascribing meaning, extrapolation, irrational thoughts that create irrational emotions, that continue to go unchecked, and so on. It is the fact that you see the problem as a problem, rather than a fallacy in your understanding, your focus, your perception. The problem is not the problem, it is how you think about the problem. If you want to function, you have to learn how to think about your feelings. The difference between the kind of anxiety that paralyzes you and the kind of fear that accompanies anything brave and worthwhile is discernment, which takes practice. The difference between the kind of people who turn their obstacles into opportunities and the kind of people who are crushed beneath the weight of their own uncertainty is knowledge and awareness. Being uncomfortable forces us to think of options that we wouldn't have had to imagine before. It is why heartbreak is crucial to human growth. The obstacle that becomes the way. Any idiot can enjoy the positive things in their lives, but it's only a few that can take the negative and find something even more profound. This, I actually like this one a lot because there is power in negative thinking. Because if you always only sat in the positive and there was no negative in your life, you wouldn't know challenge, you wouldn't know trial, you wouldn't know any of it. But negative thinking has its purpose. So it's not the problem, but it's how you're thinking of the problem. Because if you see obstacle, you see challenge as, why is this happening? Why am I being punished? Or you see it as an opportunity to grow, then that's what it will be. It will be growth. It will help you get to where you need to go. Because the power of negative thinking brings so many more perspectives into our lives. Because it's how we think about things. It forces us to see things in different perspectives, because perspective is everything. We wouldn't have ever solved that problem if we didn't look at it in a different way. And when you mentioned about the Stoics, how Stoic principles say that there's such thing as Stoic visualization, or was it negative visualization? It was, practice negative visualization, imagining the worst possible outcome and then preparing for them. Because a lot of us, we aren't prepared for when bad things happen. For when the worst case scenario happens, we need to be prepared for it. And that comes with negative thinking. It comes with thinking about the things that could go wrong and preparing for them. Not being paralyzed when they happen, but preparing ourselves for when those things happen. So tomorrow's title is what you need to do to heal your life from anxiety. So I hope everybody enjoyed today's video. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 99.